Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Friday, July 15th, 2022, and tonight I will be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the podcast along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions for shows, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or others from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And so today I'm doing the news, and Sunday will be true paranormal stories from the web. And then next Wednesday, the plan is a bit more of the Lovecraft, complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Uh, Another part in that series. So I looked the other day, and I still have about 20 hours left to listen to. So there's going to be this is an ongoing project, reviewing this whole book. Um, so I believe that takes care of everything. Before I get to the news articles, though, I did want to say I've had a experience recently that I thought I would start with uh, today for this episode because it's a type of experience, or at least it falls into a category of something I've never dealt with before. Um, and I've talked about this with a few friends. But most of my experiences have been, I guess you could say, spiritual or ghostly, or to do with that kind of. Even though I don't like hard and fast divisions in the paranormal, they've been in that kind of area of experiences, as far as I can tell. But it was Thursday. It was actually what, Thursday morning. I think it was yesterday morning now. Um, so I w- I'm not sure now what day it was. It was no, I think it was Wednesday morning. So but anyway, it was in the middle of this week, about 3 in the morning, a little bit after 3 in the morning here in Michigan. I was still up because I'm usually up at that time. And I went out to get the mail, and it was a perfectly clear night. There weren't any clouds anywhere. Yeah, timelines are hard. Uh, I always say that about my experiences. I can never remember when exactly they happened. Apparently, it doesn't matter if it was years ago or less than a week. I still can't remember exactly when they happened. Good to know, I guess. But and so I went to check the mail, and there wasn't any clouds in the area as far as I could tell. And I saw the moon when I stepped out right away, and looked like it was mostly full. At least that's how it looked to me. Again, I'm legally blind, so uh, but I saw that, but I also saw um another dot in the sky, and I figured, oh, it's a star, and it was not anywhere near the moon. It was off to um to the left of that, way off to the left. And I was walking around I live in a what they call a court, so it's like a square that has one entrance in and out of the court. And so I was walking around two of the sides of the court, and I saw this dot in the sky. I thought, oh, that's a star. But I most of the time I don't really normally see stars that often. It's very very rare. And so, being into what I'm into, the paranormal and everything, and all things uh strange and unexplained, I was thinking to myself. I remember this. I was thinking, huh, what if it's not just a star? That'd be amazing if it was actually something, something like UFO or something out of the ordinary. And and then next thing I was thinking was, I wonder what would happen if I tried to communicate with it. And as I was thinking this, I rounded a corner and walked by a tree. And um, when I came out from behind the tree and looked again at this dot, it had changed colors. Never moved, as far as I could tell, but it changed colors. It had been just like a white or orange or yellow, just like I said, I thought it was a star. But in the maybe less than a minute it took to get past this tree, it had changed to some kind of a blue, and it was immediately after I had these thoughts about wouldn't it be amazing if this was something else and if I could communicate with it, then I wonder if I should try. And boom, this thing had turned blue. And it never moved, never got bigger or smaller, it just stayed there the whole time as I was getting the mail. I could I'm looking back at it, thinking it would be gone. Um, and I kept track of it my whole way, walked back into my apartment. I'm currently between phones, so I didn't have a camera of any kind. I'm not sure, even if I did, I'm not sure if I could have really gotten a good shot of it. Um, but it stayed the same the whole time. And it was it was really amazing because it changed colors. It and it didn't flash, it didn't at all. Either in when it was either color, it didn't ever change. At least not much. While I was able to see it, but and then so yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was. Uh, but but yeah, it was a strange experience. Uh, and I don't know if it was UFO. I don't know what it was, but that's my first time ever seeing anything that seemed strange in the sky before. So, uh, I just thought I'd share that story because that just happened this week. I just realized I could actually find out when it was because I was talking about it on another server. Um, but that would take some little bit of digging. So, but because that was a couple days ago. So, but yeah. So I'll just start off the show with that. If anyone ever seen anything like that, this is a show all about everything paranormal. So I'm not just looking for ghost stories. Uh, Anything paranormal, any experience with anything like that is welcome. So just just a reminder to everyone. So I think with that, I can get to these articles. I just have a handful today, just five, but and we'll get through those, and that'll be it. So let me go to the first one here, and I already put all these in the Discord chat, and of course I will include them in the episode description in the podcast and YouTube feeds, so you can look into these articles in more detail and and see all the pictures and everything, and get more than I'm able to summarize here on the show. So this first article is from onlyinyourstate.com, and this is about the state of Washington. And this one article is titled Northern State Recreation Area Might Just Be the Most Haunted Park, excuse me. I was going to say place, but it's park in Washington. And this is by someone named Jennifer. And so this one is about this park in Washington. The parks do seem to have activity happen in them, which is really amazing. The article mentions people a lot of times think of haunted houses or haunted cemeteries or places like that, but plenty of stories. If you look around, if you can find stories of strange things happening, paranormal things happening in parks. So this area is uh, a historic park that um, it says it's near Cedro Woolley. I'm not sure where that is, but um, it says it has an extensive trail system and it winds through part of the northern North Cascades. I'm guessing the mountains. And now there are buildings in this area. One is a former mental hospital, abandoned now, I'm guessing. Shows pictures of it. Um, let's see here. It doesn't really say abandoned, so I guess maybe it's still kept up somewhat. Um, but so this place is called the Northern State Mental Hospital. Originally was built in 1909 and opened a few years later. And it says thousands of patients were housed there over the years until it was finally closed down in the 70s. Um, and says it's on the list of it's on the register of it's on the National Register of Historic Places. So which makes sense. It is over 100 years old at this point. And so let's see here. The it has a lot of pictures in this article. Apparently, that does mention that as it was a hospital, people did pass away there. Um, but in as for things that happened after that, there have been reports of hollow, otherworldly sounds that seem to come from beneath the ground near the cemetery. Have yet to be explained. It says, excuse me. Um, that's an odd one because I had that something like that here. It happened here with knocking on the cement slab that this building that I live in was constructed on. And if everyone was here and heard it knocking on the underside of the cement slab, we have no idea what that was. There is no basement anywhere in this complex in this building. So that it would be odd to experience. People who have visited the hospital have reported feeling um, cold metal touching their neck and wrists. Um, as in, and the article here mentions that could be connected to experiences that were had by the patients in the hospital. Um, so there's also let's see here. It says apparently there have been apparitions sighted there as well, but it says vague auras, so vague figures have been seen moving from window to window in the old hospital. So it seems like a an active area. So, and there's more to this article, but as always, I always do, I will let you all check out the rest of that on your own. So, um, let's see here. I'll check on the chat and then we'll get on to the next article. But okay. Yeah, the pictures from the James Webb Telescope have really been amazing. I've seen a few here and there, and um, there's um, there's one in the chat here, and but yeah, definitely they show lights, they show stuff out there. So who knows? But so let's see here. This next article is from BenningtonBanner.com, and this one says, let's see here. Title is Haunted Wilson Castle in Vermont. Spirits will play tricks on you, it says in quotation marks there. And this is by Lex Merrill, Bennington Banner. That's the name of the publication. So, this is this castle has been considered haunted since uh, Cornell Wilson bought it in 1939. It says this news uh, organization, this paper, this online publication, it says they recently joined a group of paranormal investigators um, at the castle to see what they could find. And so apparently let's see here. I'm just looking. Okay. So there there's a historian general guide for the castle who is last name is Probst. Um, and let's see here. Apparently, Wilson never wanted the public to think the place was haunted, but the one thing I do remember about this article is that the whatever happens here, it's not negative. So, but it's more playful, is what the article is saying. Guests have heard voices in the distance and music being played, and during the investigation, several of the investigators reported hearing music coming from different floors of the castle. And the it says the castle is this is funny. The castle is one or 13,131 square feet with 13 fireplaces. Um, now this is ironic in a way. This historian says 13 doesn't have any significance here. Um, that is quite the coincidence if that is really the case. Uh, so yeah, I don't know about how that happened, but yeah. Let me see here. One moment. I think I have to cough. Okay, I think I'm a little better. So this apparently Probst has seen shadow people under the stairs. Um, and he said when he was washing his hands in the bathroom sink, he looked up into the mirror and saw a shadow move across the doorway. Um, so that's quite a sighting there. Shadow figure in a mirror. That's pretty solid right there. The third floor, in the third floor hallway, there is a figure that's been known to peek its head around the corner, and the hallway itself it says has a different energy in the area. Um, and Probst says he doesn't like it there at night. So I wonder what that's about. Um, so apparently this place, there's a lot of activity related to the mirrors. Uh, says Probst showed a picture of a ghost child standing behind someone in a mirror. Um, and let me see here. I'm seeing. I don't see the picture that they're talking about, but still, just that concept. Now, if you look at that, that's twice now. People have been people have had experiences with seeing things in the mirror. So, um, apparently, this is thought to be. Let's see here. Uh, see here. So, okay, there's another ad in the middle of that. Um, so let's see. As far as the history of the castle, the home's original owner was a Sarah Johnson, um, and she is also thought to be seen there. And she and her husband John built the house from 1885 to 1892, and it says they had two children together, and their first child. Um, okay, so this just goes into the history of the place. So, but yeah, it sounds like there's activity there. Apparently, um, they there was this one group of people that stayed overnight at this location, and they told Probst after that they basically thanked him for keeping the heat on the next morning, and they said they heard the furnace kick on in the basement and felt the air hot air coming up out of the grate by their wall. But apparently, according to Probst, there is no furnace. Um, so that's really amazing. I wonder if there was one or something. I don't even know how that would work. So, there's a lot more in this article here, but there's at least a little more anyway. So, you can look more into that. But just the mirrors again. Going back to what is so special about mirrors, the energy that they can contain or reflect uh or yeah, if I felt cold metal on my wrists at an old asylum, I'd be out. Yeah, that's pretty that would be pretty frightening. But going back to mirrors, that always amazes me when there are experiences, especially sightings like that, and by multiple people of multiple things. Uh, there's something to that, and I wonder how old those mirrors were as well. If they were part of the original build of the place, then that's that means they've been there a lot longer and possibly taken in a lot more energy. Could be possibly more powerful portals of some kind, maybe. So, um, so that'll be it for that article. Again, you can look it up later. This next one is from westword.com. That's WESTWORD. And this is this says 10 spooky stories from Denver's Croak Patterson Mansion. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Okay, I'm not sure. Um, but so this is just a series of stories apparently about this mansion, which was closed for years, but it's a bed and breakfast um, now, and it's even been featured uh, in TV shows, at least one TV show. So I'll go through the first couple of these, and then um, I'll leave the rest to you all. So the top one here is the caretaker in the carriage house, and this house has a whole different feel from the main house. uh, and there was a psychic there said they were having a conversation with people that the writer of this first story, whose name first name is Anne, uh, Anne said that she couldn't hear. And according to this psychic, there's a spirit in the carriage house of an Irish caretaker, and both the Pattersons and the Croaks were of Irish descent. And this caretaker was a woman that was uh, she was immediately put off by everyone being there, and asked the psychic what they were doing there. And so this is first story is just about this the psychic's experience. So there's not a ton there other than just what the psychic reported. Um, but apparently the the spirit told the psychic uh, that let's see here. So this last part's confusing. Apparently um, this this is confusing the way this is written. So anyway, but so there's a encounter with a psychic and a spirit that was there. So this looks like a series of experiences. Um, but I didn't realize this was gonna be. It's kind of hard to read. So um, at least to summarize anyway. But you can check out this article and get more of the details from there. I'm not just to point out, I'm not really dismissing the psychic or anything like that because I do believe there are people that really have those abilities, and then there are some that maybe do not so much. So, um, okay, so apparently this is all about this one author who was writing a book on this place, and that's where the experience is and where this what this article is about. I didn't get that when I looked at it before. So I apologize for that, but still looks like it could be an interesting read. Um, so there you go. Let's see here. So this next one I'll go on to is from y105fm.com. And this one says possible ghost photo captured in Minnesota home for sale. Um, Now a lot of this article is just about this location, this St. Cloud home, and apparently that's a town or a city in that state. And but what they have in this article though is a picture near the end that they there's someone in it. Apparently, there's not supposed to be anyone in these pictures. Based on what I've read of the article, I did kind of check it out a little bit. And in the picture, which is down towards the bottom of the article, there's you can see um, someone on the right side of the image, and I don't know what to make of it. If there really was no one there, then that's a really clear image. Um, and of course, the article doesn't claim to know what that was either. And but it looks like a person um, off to the side, and so you all can check that out and let me know what you think about it because I'm not the best with pictures, but the amazing thing about this is there are places. I've heard of things like this happening before, especially with exterior shots of places of homes where people will be taking pictures of their homes that are for sale, And then after they look at the pictures later on, there's figures or faces in some of the windows that they didn't see at the time. So this is not entirely impossible. And so I just wanted to share that. If you're really want to look around online and just something interesting and different to just do a search on, definitely you can look into real estate and maybe use some different keywords to get some pretty amazing images. Of course, it's always hard to tell how um, what's going on there for sure, but it's really amazing to imagine that there could be um, entities and or spirits and or people from other times maybe that are appearing in these pictures of these places that are for sale that are supposedly empty, except maybe they're not. So, um, so I have one more here, and then we'll be done. Um, and this is just another one of those articles I like to share once in a while. That is a collection of stories from different people, and this is from BuzzFeed. There's a couple different sites that do something like this, so I don't always draw from the same one. Uh, but this one is just a let's see here. So this is a collection of stories gathered by this publication or this website from different members of the community regarding experiences they had and or I'm guessing others that they believe. So um let's see here. I'll go to this first one here. So this first story says, I used to work night shifts in a nursing home. One night, I called out to a resident who had a habit of wandering in the night across the gallery that overlooked the nurse's station. And she had been hurrying back and forth for a good while. And my colleague next to me asked who I was speaking to. And when I explained, they said, really? She died 2 nights ago. So what was that person seeing? It's hard to say. I'm guessing that figure must have been gone by the time the other worker looked up, but still amazing. So I'm just skipping around here to see what I can find that looks good. Uh, let's see here. Oh, this one is different. So this one says, I used to work at a small town dive bar that was built in the late 1800s as a hotel. One night, I had let the rest of the staff go home before me, and I was uh, closing down with all of the doors locked. When I was heading out to leave, all I had left to do was shut off the light in the kitchen. But the switch was in a weird spot, just barely within my reach. I missed it the first time and distinctly heard a man's laugh as if someone were standing next to me. Clearly, nobody was around, so I panicked, hit the lights, and headed for the door. But just as I had opened the door, the same voice said my name. I have never run out of a building so fast. So let's see here. Let me see what else I can find. Um, okay, here's another medical facility one. This one says, I work as a night shift tech in a hospital. Around 3 in the morning, I was stocking things in a cabinet at the end of a hallway. As I was doing that, I heard a very distinct male voice chuckle from the room behind me. Initially, I thought nothing of it because patients can be awake at all hours. But then I realized that no one was staying in that room. Immediately, I stopped what I was doing and ran. I had a coworker go back to that room with me to see what was going on, and no one was in there. Here's another one in a um, pub, it says. So far, we're getting stories from uh, hospitals and bars. This one says, I used to work in a very old pub. I was the only person left in the building one night and had to close up around 2 in the morning. No windows were open and all the doors were locked while I was sitting in the upstairs area of the bar, cleaning glasses. Suddenly, the chandelier above my head started to spin, gradually going faster and faster. I quickly decided to get out of there, but as I was moving downstairs, I looked back and saw a young boy standing by the wall opposite the bar. Without thinking, I was going to tell him we were closed and that he had to leave. But when I looked again, he was gone. So there's more here. Again, I'll let you all check out the rest of it. So, but looks like a fun article to just read some stories. So, I believe that'll do it. So thank you all for being here to listen. And yeah. Okay, yeah. So let's see here. Yep. In that picture that does look like there's someone there at the on the right side of the picture and in that one article. So definitely check it out. And yeah, it doesn't look like anything scary except for there's not supposed to be anyone in those pictures. So um but uh but yeah, so that was fun. Thank you all for yeah, it looks like someone's grandma. Does look like an older woman. Um but it looks like she's smiling, so that's a good thing. It's really I thought I could see that as well, but I wasn't sure because again, I don't always trust what I see in pictures because everything is always so blurry to me. So, but again, thank you all for listening and for being here, and I will talk to you all on Sunday on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Have a good